Hi everyone, and welcome to 5 Minutes With this evening. I'm really excited actually because I have got a really special close friend of mine, Sophie Yershon, with me tonight. I was desperate to get Sophie on 5 Minutes With. I know she was a bit reluctant, but I've convinced her because she's got some really exciting things happening that we'd like to share with our followers. Now, Sophie, you're going to be explaining everything shortly, but Sophie is an amazing photographer, and the new venture, which is called the Garden Stylist, which I'm really excited to talk about in more detail with you, obviously is something that complements your photography.
For sure.
So how did this all start? How did you get into gardening when you were in photography? I'm intrigued to know where it all started.
I've always loved gardening. I mean, you've been in my garden ever since.
Well, your garden is absolutely, I must tell you, Sophie's garden is beautiful.
It's just been a loving work in progress, but I've always loved gardening. My mum and dad have a beautiful garden, and I did things in their garden over the years. I used to love going to the garden centre. I'm sure it was on a Friday night, there was a gardening programme with Alan Titchmarsh and Charlie Dimmock.
Oh, we all like it. Yeah.
So I used to watch them. That was like my entertainment. I loved it. So I've always loved it. And I've loved it for myself. And then really and truly over COVID, being at home, being in my garden the whole time, there was kind of one side of my garden that needed doing. And I just got on and did it. But I know loads of what I'm doing. I knew everything that I was doing, so I took into account various things and I finished it. And I thought to myself, actually I didn't think to myself, loads of people have encouraged me, you know who you are, over the years to be like, you can do this. And I'm like...
Well, it was like with the photography as well.
Yeah, you fall into it. But in a way, I've done this and have been more passionate about this for longer than I have been the photography. So I am passionate about the photography, but this... I'm like buzzing because you can visually see it. It's another visual thing. I'm obviously a very visual person.
Well, that's what I said to you. Obviously, I did a bit of research into what you're doing, and it's not really, gardening sounds like somebody comes along and mows your grass,
right,
and touches up a few bits. But this stylist element, which has been brought into it, to me, correct me if I'm wrong, it basically symbolises, you've got an eye, like you said, a vision for how, you can transform a look. And that's even just with a few simple things, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what do you offer in terms of if somebody, for example, just wants a few planters to add into what they've already got, or a full transformation?
You hit the nail on the head with regards to like where I sit within the gardening remit, because I don't see myself as a gardener. So I feel like because a lot of gardeners actually just come and mow the lawn.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't actually know about plants and about shrubs and about gardening. They just know how to maintain it, and sometimes they don't even deadhead, which is like the most frustrating thing ever. So there's that, and then there's your like hard landscaping gardeners. So I kind of see myself a bit in between the two. So I myself like to get my hands in dirty where I can, because I need help as well. But I can give ideas for hard landscaping. But with regards to filling gaps, people just don't know what plants can go where, and
Well, I've seen some of your transformations. On Sophie's, the Garden Stylist Instagram page, Facebook pages. Obviously, we'll be putting up all the details about that. But you've shown some, small transformations, which I'm sure make such a difference.
Oh my gosh!
And I bet people get all excited because now that people have been spending all this time at home,
sure,
we're, tending to look particularly at outside space. Obviously, with us being trapped in for a while during lockdown, people just want to let loose in the garden and enjoy it. Yeah. And something like what you offer is going to enhance their outside space for them to enjoy.
And it can be really simple things, exactly what you're just saying. Just filling gaps, bringing life to a flower bed, or someone who's had a flower bed that's just been empty for however long. We've got a little project coming up next week that they've moved into a home, they've renovated it, and there's just one section of this flower bed that's in front of the house that really is the first impression, that's just sitting there empty. So that is my, who you are. That is my job for next week, and I can't wait to share that transformation, because it's going to be a real wow factor. And immediate wow factor that's only going to get better year on year.
Well, it's interesting as well that you say about the wow factor, because obviously with Pop Fusion being events based, a lot of people are having garden parties, and you know they're restricted with what they can do at the moment. So a lot of people that have had parties booked in at venues are now having to bring the party home, and they're probably looking at their garden thinking, how can I have people round? It's not looking its best.
Yeah.
So do you offer a service where you can come and not obviously necessarily deck the garden out for the event, but I mean visually sort out some areas of the garden 100%. That would look better for their styling their party?
So what I have been doing is I've been going over to people's houses, basically doing a recce. It's a consultation, it's not no obligation, and I discuss what it is that I do. But I've been with my clients, I've been going, seeing, you know, taking into account soil, light, whatever, because that's really important with what you plant and where you plant it.
Yeah.
And I'm physically going to the garden centre, whereas a trade garden centre, so I'm getting the trade discount, which is great. What is lovely about it is that I'm extending the discount to my clients.
That's great.
So I'm getting these beautiful plants that are going to bloom year on year, and I'm coming, and there's two things. Like with regards to planters, I'll pretty much come and plant the planters myself, you know, like big pots and whatnot. If it's more heavy duty gardening, then what I'll do is I'll make sure that the plants are in situ in the right spot with a full explanation as to what they need and how they need to be planted in terms of soil and mulch, whatever.
And where you would like them placed.
Everything. And I'll either organise a gardener to come and do it, or if the client has a gardener, to come the very next day to come and plant it, but under full instruction.
And also, what about things like, obviously stylist rings to me things like garden furniture, accessorising, because I know, I mean, I've seen some incredible things out there. I've been looking because I'd like to, you know, come to Sophie and have my garden sorted out. But it's not just about the plants, is it? It's about the accessories and the furniture. And you know, a lot of people are reluctant to buy online without having that experience, because it might never show up, or it might turn up and be awful quality. So do you have particular go-tos?
I've got amazing places who I've got amazing relationships with regards to garden furniture that I can certainly help with. Lots of different styles, not just your regular rattan, like loads of different pieces. I like to think that I've always had an eye for even interior design, because, you know, there are bits in my house, as you know, that look really nice. So I just feel like it's a bit more exciting to take it outdoors and make your outdoors a real extension of your house. So with garden furniture, even little things like the solar lights now, unbelievable.
And what about like outside rugs and
cushions? I mean, the cushions I've got on my outdoor couch aren't outdoor cushions, they're just nice cushions. You just got to remember to take them in the rain.
Or get a storage box to put your things
or a shed,
in.
Whatever. But make sure you remember to put them away. But basically, you know, like festoon lighting, you know, all the little...
It's so nice.
You can get them in solar, and they're unbelievable with like the Edison bulbs, and they're so effective and they're so fun. So there's loads of different options. It's not just about plants, but like I said, I'm not hard landscaping. I can tell you where a good place to put a patio is, but I won't be able to install it. That's not where I'm at.
That's not yours niche.
Not my remit yet, but maybe it will be, but for now it's...
But in terms of plants, I know that you've said this to me as well. You mentioned the word patience. With gardens, you've got to have patience.
Yes. Well, for example, with Natalie, she's got a beautiful garden that we're going to transform, obviously, but the back wall is basically brick at the minute. So
it's very harsh on the eye.
It's harsh on the eye, and we're going to soften it up with a climber. But we can spend all sorts of money and get established climbers, or we can just be patient and tease the climbers, because they do grow really quickly, and before you know it, you know, a couple of years you could have a full wall of green, like jasmine.
I think it's quite nice also to watch it come alive.
I love it. You should see on my phone, I've got like a plant diary of my plants that are blooming. Yes, and I'm going to share that because I think it's really exciting.
And also tips like, for example, when something has died, it doesn't necessarily mean, am I right in saying it's finished forever?
Correct. So you led me on perfectly. Perennials. This is the key to great gardening for those that don't know how to garden. Perennials. Perennial means it comes back every year. So there are different types of perennials. Perennials that are evergreen. like shrubs and whatnot that stay green all year round. And then there are perennials that are deciduous, which means they lose all their leaves and basically die back to nothing. So a hydrangea is a deciduous perennial. You know this, guys.
It's a bit.
No, but it dies back to
means
nothing.
well, but it means you know what you're talking about, because I've got no idea about that.
But if it's looked after in the winter, like little simple hacks to look after
Yeah.
a hydrangea in the winter, it will come back the next year.
So if somebody has used you for your services, can they drop you a line if there is something that they need? Do you build a relationship up with your clients?
Even if you haven't used me or haven't used me for my services, I could just talk about gardening all day long.
Because you've got a passion for it, and you love it.
Buzz. It's exciting because you can physically see it. You can see when someone's done a good job. And that's like the most satisfying thing.
It's fantastic. And like I said, I mean, I think it really does complement your photography, and your images of what I'm sure you're going to be working on coming up, you know, are going to showcase it as well to the best it can be because of that other talent that you've got with the photography. But what I wanted to share with the followers is a fantastic competition that the Garden Stylist is going to be offering. And do you want me to tell the followers, or would you like to tell them about the competition?
I'll tell them what it is and you can tell them how to enter.
Excellent. Okay, go on then.
So
Tell them.
I've already done, you'll see on my Instagram, 3 beautiful planters with a beautiful hydrangea. It's called paniculata, very beautiful. It's like a limey colour and a really pretty cone shape. In one planter that's a bigger size, and a slightly smaller one there's white lavender. I mean, when did you even know about white lavender? I actually only learned about it the other day. Oh, it's just
Does it smell amazing?
It's amazing, and it's white. I mean,
I love white and green. It's my favourite.
And then in the smaller planter is another. Well, you all know it well. You'll see it in sort of filling out in bouquets. Gypsophilia, gyp. You know, like the little white pompoms at
yes.
the end. Yeah. So
is that baby's breath or not?
Yeah, it's known as baby's breath as well.
See, I've learned something.
So it looks really beautiful. So you'll see on my Instagram, and you can win those 3 planters. So
to win, or to be in a chance of winning, what we need you to do is follow the Garden Stylist. We need you to like the competition, like the post that's going to be on the Instagram page. Have you got a Facebook page as well?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook. And what we need you to do is tag a friend in the post as well. And these are all going to increase your chances of winning this amazing prize. And I can vouch for that because I've seen the picture, and I'm going to be entering because I want it. So we're going to finish off now, because I'd love you to be able to check out the Garden Stylist pages and see what Sophie's going to be up to over the next coming weeks. And I'm sure we'll be touching base again soon, because I want to hear what other exciting things you've been up to. But thank you so much for watching. It's bye from me, Natalie, at 5 Minutes With, and Sophie Yershon from the Garden Stylist and Sophie Yershon Photography. Hope you have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Bye.